Hey jammers! Welcome to TribeMusicStudio.com. I'm Gene, and how about some Beatles today? The song And I Love Her is what I'm going to show you the way I did it on the performance video. So, my arrangement. Okay, let's get started. Alright, the song is in the key of C minor. And if you want to just jam scale-wise with it, just any old lead whatsoever, you can do an E flat major or C relative minor or the C blues scale. Any one of those three will work just to do your own thing. Although I do a lead to it, which is pretty close to the way George does it, if not note for note. I just do my thing though with it. So there's a little intro, there's an outro later on, there's 3 verses, 1 bridge, and 1 solo, or not, if you don't want to put a solo in. It starts off with this little, and what I'm doing here is, and I'm going to the 5th string 1st fret and the 4th string 1st fret, playing them both, and then the 4th string open. And then to the chord F minor. For the I give her all my love part. We're in 4/4 time, so we're counting in 4s, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and all your downstrokes get the numbers, and all your upstrokes get the end. So it's just simply down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. For the most part, I like to put in that little mute though, and it's like down, up, mute, up, down, up, mute, up, etc. If you like putting that in. And the way you do that is I just release the pressure. So it's like I'm not lifting my hand off and putting it on then to mute. I'm just keeping the chord shape, but releasing all the pressure, not squeezing it all, and my fingers are still at the same place. So I'm ready to squeeze again and mute again. Squeeze, mute. Squeeze, let the pressure off and mute. Okay, whichever one of those 2 rhythms you prefer to do. We do those bass notes. I give her, and F sharp minor gets played 1 measure of counting to 4. We then switch to a C, not F sharp minor, excuse me, just F minor. And then we switch to C minor, 1 measure, all my love, and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And we do those 2 chords 3 times. So that would be 1 time. Do it 2 more for a total of 3 times. Like so. I give her all my love. That's 1. That's all I do. That's 2. And of course, and if you saw my love, that would be 3. And each time you go back to the F minor, of course, you're doing that, which I left out there. But you're supposed to do that. Then we go to an A flat, 1 measure. You'd love her, and then up 2 frets to a B flat 7, 1 measure, 2, and I. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And drop right there to an E flat, 1 measure. Love her. That's the whole progression for your first verse and the second verse. So you just repeat all that all over again. And it starts with vocal wise, it's she gives me everything. And we do the run, the bass one. And tenderly, the kiss my lover brings. And we'll go to the A flat. 1 measure she brings to me, B flat. And I E flat love her. Alright, now we're going to the bridge. And we want a C minor. one measure. A love like, so it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and up to B flat, one measure. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Back to C minor, one measure also. Could never, G minor, one measure. Die. C minor again. As long as it was one measure. G minor again, one measure. I have you. Up to B flat 7, one measure. Near me. And then we're doing the, at that point I actually go into the solo. We'll discuss the solo later, either in this video or a completely different one. I'll show you what I'm doing there note for note. And again, it's pretty close to the way George does it, if not exactly the way George does it. But that's the way I do it. So anyway, we then come to verse 3. After that you put a solo in, or again, if you don't have to put a solo, you can go right from the bridge into verse 3. And verse 3 is played, I play it the same way that I did the chord progression for verse 1 and 2. However, when it comes to the solo and verse 3, George Harrison actually, or the Beatles actually modulated. And what that means is they changed keys at that point. They took everything up a half step. So instead of being F minor, it'd go up to F sharp minor. Instead of being C sharp minor, it would be, or C minor, it'd be C sharp minor, and etc. All those other chords. Everything is moved up one fret. I don't do that. I just don't care to do that. I like staying put. So that's how I did it, and that's how I'm showing you. But I know that they modulated. So anyway, I do verse 3 again the same way as I do verse 1 and 2. So I took the solo on the performance video. I did the solo right after the bridge. I really should have played verse 3 and then took the solo, and then came back and did verse 3 again to, and then do the outro. But on the performance, I didn't. It took the solo right after the bridge. So that's up to you, however you want to arrange it, or or do the song. So verse 3 is the part that goes, bright are the stars that shine, dark is the sky. I know this love of mine. C, A flat, will never, B flat 7, die, E flat, and I love her. Well, we finally come to the end, and the end is that little bass thing in the beginning, just like the intro. C minor, the bass again, and here we come to the ending, the bass, and a C chord. So they end on a C major. Well, they end probably on a D or something, because again they're at a different, they modulate it up, I don't know. I'm ending on a C. And that's it. There you go. Okay. Lovely summer's day. It was drizzling a little bit, but the temperature is beautiful here. We're outside at what we call Club Tiki, in our backyard. So, thank you as always. Can't wait to see you again. Bye.